Mordechai refuses to bow down to Haman. And at first Haman pretends he doesn't notice, so maybe he really didn't notice. And remember, it wasn't in his best interest to start making an issue out of it. Because if he were to start complaining, hey, why isn't Mordechai bowing down to me? Mordechai will get up and say, well, you're my slave. So either Haman ignores it or he doesn't notice. And right in the beginning, nothing happens yet. But who notices? Careful, you want to make little things. Who notices all the other courtiers? All courtiers, the people who work in the government, like all the important advisors and the ministers and all. And they feel this isn't fair. 1 minute. We are forced to bow down to Haman even though he isn't great at all, and we all know that his origins was that he was a bar attendant. He washed our feet, and now we have to bow down to him. But if we don't, it's on penalty of death. That's what the king commanded. We listen to the king. Why isn't Mordechai listening to the king? And they don't say anything to Haman yet, but they observe. And after a while, they come and they complain to Mordechai. They say, Mordechai, why aren't you bowing down to Haman? And he says, because I'm a Jew, and a Jew is forbidden from bowing down to anyone other than Hashem. And he said, they argue back. They actually knew the Torah quite well. And they argue back and they say, but your ancestor, Yaakov, he bowed down to Haman's ancestor, Esav. And Mordechai said, firstly, Esav didn't have an idol dangling from his neck. But secondly, I'm from Binyamin. Binyamin wasn't even born yet. And so my ancestor Binyamin never bowed down to Esav. And now they got a little confused. You see, because everyone knew Mordechai as Mordechai a Yehudi. And these guys couldn't understand. If you said Yehudi, they thought you meant that you were from the tribe of Yehuda. And now he's saying he's from the tribe of Binyamin. And they began to think that Mordechai is lying to them. And so,
wait, what does Mordechai have to really
mean? It became adopted. The Shevet Yehuda, the name Yehudi, became the name for all the Jews, actually. Even today, you want to say someone's Jewish, in Hebrew you say hu Yehudi, he's a Jew. But it seems that originally, if you said Yehuda, you're referring to the tribe of Yehuda. Either way. So, they also remember very well Daniel and how Daniel refused to bow down to the idol of King Nebuchadnezzar, and Hashem made a huge miracle for him, Daniel in the lions, right? And they wondered, would the same miracle happen again? Does Hashem still stand by the Jewish people? And at that point they go and they tell Haman. Now Haman couldn't ignore it anymore. He couldn't pretend not to notice. Now when Haman used to go in the street, he used to look straight ahead with his head up and his nose stuck to the ceiling practically, like not looking at anyone, feeling like everyone is below his dignity, and he wouldn't notice anyone even. And when he found out about Mordechai, he made a point. He made a point to look and to check. And from then on, he made it his business that every time he went past the gate where he knew Mordechai was, he'd turn and look, and he'd see that Mordechai is standing erect with his head held high in a proud way of being Jewish. And Haman
bow to Hashem?
Well, it doesn't just mean physically bowing down. It means that we give our life to serve Hashem. But however Hashem says to live our life, that's what we do. The way we eat, the way we drink, the food we eat, everything, the way we keep work and then rest on Shabbos, etc. So Haman passes by Mordechai, and Mordechai glances down at his armor by his leg and reminds him, you don't say anything, you're my slave. You'll say something, I'll reveal the truth. And Haman is all confused and angry and he don't know what to do. And this Mordechai is such a thorn on his side. Everything would be perfect if it wasn't for Mordechai. And he finds out Mordechai is really a Jew. And he says, he did, but it's also Yishalet Am Mordechai. He asked, who are the people of Mordechai? I was always wanted that, Shner. Maybe let's ask Tati tonight.
What?
Let's ask Tati tonight at the Shabbos table. I don't know. Hey, darling, welcome home, sweetheart. And so he thinks, I'm going to kill Mordechai. Then he thinks, no, that's not enough. I'm going to kill all of Mordechai's tribe. He's from the tribe of Binyamin. Binyamin was the tribe from whom Shaul came, the first Jewish king. And Shaul had killed Haman's ancestor, Agag, the king of Amalek. And he says, that's it, I'm going to kill all of the tribe of Binyamin. Then he thinks, no. Yes, but originally not. Originally, the plot was concocting, was like, what's the word, developing in his mind. And then he says, nope, that's not enough. I'm going to get to all the Jews. Doesn't it say in the Torah, Timche et Zecher Amalek, wipe out the memory of Amalek? And he says, I'm an Amalekite. And he ends up hating them. What do you want, sweetie pie? Bisley, she can take a bisley. No, darling, those are just cups, neshama. And children, the reason the Torah says Timche et Zecher Amalek, remember that Amalek represents a klipa of coldness. The Jews had come out of Egypt, and the whole world was at awe over Hashem, that Hashem saved the Jewish people and did miracles and destroyed Paro. And everyone was, wow, we can't believe there's such a strong and powerful Jew. Are you on a plastic knife? A plastic, that's not how we ask. Please say, understand, you say, please may I have? Quiere cuchillo plastic, por favor, yeah. Muchas gracias. Thanks, yeah. Yeah, there's a knife. Say thank you. Say thank you to Rachel. And, okay, you can cut it with the plastic knife. So, children, the klipa of Amalek represents the concept of coldness. Amalek turned around and said, big deal. Who cares that the Jewish Hashem of the Jews did such a great miracle? We can go fight against the Jews. We're going to show that it's not such a big deal. Actually, their war wasn't really, that piece got in your hair, wasn't really a war against the Jews so much as against Hashem. They wanted to show that Hashem wasn't so strong and mighty, and that they were not so impressed, if you want to put it that way, by the miracles Hashem did. And so, also in our life, children, we have to always remember that we need to be excited about Torah and excited about mitzvot. Like when Shabbos comes, we're excited about it. We bake challah together and make the house smell delicious. Or we set the table beautifully. Or we're excited. One second, we're excited to daven to Hashem or say Shema at night or whatever it is, right? We have to go the opposite of Amalek. Oh, don't eat the dough, don't eat the dough, yucky.
Mommy, the holy.
Right, Amalek was the opposite. Amalek represented the concept of stop being so excited about being Jewish. So children, actually tomorrow Shabbos, we have to go to shul because it's Shabbos Parshas Zachar, and you have to listen to the Parashat Timche et Zecher Amalek.
Mommy,
So,
no,
don't talk about that.
It says
okay, I don't know exactly what that means. Guys, I don't know what that means, children. I don't know. And Mashiach come and he'll guide us. So, So, of course I could roll it. So, Haman decides he wants to kill all the Jews. And he is afraid. He's not ready. Shana, please join us, son. He's not ready to just go ahead and do it. He remembered well how Hashem did do miracles and destroy Paro. And he remembered well how there were miracles after miracles for the Jews when they destroyed the Plishtim and indeed destroyed his own ancestors, in the war against Amalek and Agag. And he also remembered how Daniel was saved from the lions. But on the other hand, he thinks, 1 minute, Hashem destroyed their Bet HaMikdash. Hashem doesn't love them anymore, but he wasn't sure. And children, Haman decides he's going to cast lots. He's going to do what's called a pur. And hence, this is where the name Purim comes from. Pur means a lottery. Now, children, this pur... A lottery is it's almost like not a competition actually, a raffle.
A raffle, it's like a game of luck.
Right, it's a raffle, but not quite that.
Whichever one comes out.
That's the one, right? That's the one you go with. Now remember that Haman's lottery was actually very dangerous, children. You always think of Haman that he's just this foolish guy, and he just with an ugly face and like pimples and hooked nose and all that. Actually, Haman
He had garbage on his head.
He had garbage on his head. You're right. Actually, children, Haman was a very, very powerful sorcerer. He had the koach hatum'ah. He had the strength of the opposite of kedusha. Remember that in kedusha, there's kedusha that is holy. There's spirituality that is holy, and then there is spirituality.
Oh, I forgot that.
You must be a tray, darling. A spirituality that is very, very...
Mommy,
Let's just watch that. Very, very negative. And Haman had the ability to reach high up. Haman wanted to reach up so high to a level. Cher is giving us a whole Purim show. To a level. But Cher, it's a little distracting. So let me finish this. I'll just get one more segment and then we'll stop. Haman wanted to get to a level where he can reach above Seder Hishtalut, which means Haman wanted to reach a level of God that was so high and removed from the world that God doesn't even care about the world. That Torah and mitzvot does not even doesn't have come into account over there. Haman was able to reach high levels. And when he first cast his lottery, the reality was that the Jewish people deserved punishment. Although we know that Hashem just sent Haman in order to scare the Jews. And what he did, he took dice. He took dice, children. How you play with dice?
Yes.
And the dice were like big cubes. He had 3 of them. And instead of dots like we have, he had alphabet. And it always balanced to 7. If you had Aleph on top, which was 1, you had Vav at the bottom, which was 6. If you had Gimel on top, which was 3, you had Dalet at the bottom, which was 4. And
Mommy, what's that?
Zeresh, she's right. We're not up to that. Yes. And yes, okay. Shtani, let me finish the story, okay? And then we can talk. So he throws the dice, and the first letter that he looks at the 3 cubes. The top of one cube is Aleph, and then the next one is Gimel, and the next one is Gimel. And he says, "Ooh, that spells Agag, my great-great-grandfather, the king of Amalek." And he says, "Wow, that's amazing. Let me look what's at the bottom of those letters." And he looks all the way at the bottom, and under the Aleph is the letter Vav. And he looks under the 2 Gimels, under the Gimels is the letter Dalet. And he mixes it around, and if you put Dalet, Vav Dalet, it spells the name.
David.
Right, a good job,
Yeah,
Shner. David HaMelech. He says, wow, that's the first Jew from the tribe of Yehuda. He's the ancestor of Mashiach. This means that I've reached such a high level up in heaven, to a level where Hashem doesn't even care about the Jews. Hashem is so far removed, and He doesn't care what I'll do to the Jewish people. Agag, in a second. Agag is on top. David's at the bottom. We're going to win over. And then he does another lottery to see the dates, and he does first together with the months of the year, 12 months of the year, 300 and either 52 or 65. I don't know if he did. Shner, you're distracting. He did the days of the year, and if the day of the year that he picked fell out corresponding to the month of the year, he knows it is correct. And he pulled it out, and he gets Yud Gimel Adar. At first he says, Adar, that's 11 months away. This was Nisan. And I don't like you playing as long as you're concentrating.
Okay, go on.
And he says, that's 11 months away. I want to get rid of the Jews now. But then he thinks, you know what? Maybe better, because now I have a full 11 months to prepare. So he's actually happy. And then he says, and yay, Adar is a month when there are no Jewish holidays. There are no Jewish. Thank you, but I need to make sure you're tznius. It is a month when no Jewish holidays occur. And he says the Jews have no merit. The Jews have no merit in the month of Adar. And not only that, but Moshe, their leader, died in the month of Adar. And he thinks, wouldn't it have been nicer had it fallen out on Zayin Adar? The day that Moshe Rabbeinu died, passed away, was Niftar, shouldn't say about Moshe. And he says, you know what? No. Because during those first 7 days, they were still mourning for Moshe. So they still would have had merit. So it's good. On the 13th day, there's no more Shiv'ah. There's no more mourning. Don't do that. It's not good. I can't use that one. Put it away. There's no more Shiv'ah. And now there's no merit for the Jewish people. And he's very happy. And not only that, kids, listen to this. The 13th day of the month of Adar was actually the day that the 9th plague in Egypt began. Which one was the 9th plague? Good.
The 9th was locusts.
No, 9th.
Darkness.
Who knows what happened during...
All the heathen got... So a few heathen got killed.
Right, children. 4/5 got killed. That meant out of every 10 people, 10 Jews, 8 passed away. I'm never my sheet off. Okay, I'm going to just hold it. So 8 out of 10 Jews passed away because they didn't believe that they would actually be redeemed. They never believed in them, Mashiach for their times. They didn't believe that it was actually happening. Or they didn't believe Hashem was going to rescue them. And so they had no merit, and they passed away. And I mean, it's a whole story in itself. But Haman is delighted. And him and his son Shimshi, who helped him cast the lots, are so happy. They're like, great, we're going to go. I'm going to get permission.
Who's his oldest son?
I think Shimshi was.
Really?
Shimshi was his main son, I think. Actually, I don't know. We have to look in the Megillah. The Megillah says the 10 sons of Haman who hung on the tree, but their names are such complicated names I can never pronounce them. Dalfona, and I don't remember the names. Oh, something's burning, darling? Thank you. Oh, you have to put it lower. Thank you, darling. And kids,
juggling for Purim.
Haman is so happy. Haman is so happy with his outcome.
Why? Mommy, why?
You know, darling, Sarah, it's really distracting me, darling. So I guess you need to stop. And he's on his way to go to the king and tell the king that he wants to kill the Jews. And as he's rushing through the streets, who does he see but Mordechai? And Mordechai is stopping 3 little boys. And he's talking to them. And after he speaks to them, Mordechai gets very happy. And Haman says, this guy's happy. Here I am about to get him and his entire nation killed. And he's happy. So Haman stops the 3 boys. And he says, what did Mordechai tell you? See, children, Mordechai knew that something was brewing. He knew that Haman was, we need to be safe. No, we need to be safe. We need to be tznius. He knew that Haman was brewing something against the Jews. And he stops these 3 little boys. And he tells them, what did you learn? And they tell him 3 famous psukim. What were they? Al Tira. Zikna ani uvatseva ani yesbol. Right. Each child told him another pasuk. The first one, Al tira mipachat pitom. Don't get afraid of a sudden fear, a sudden attack. Because Hashem is with us. Basically, the 3 psukim, each one stood. Don't be afraid from a sudden fear and from Rashai who stand up against us. They're going to sit and make plans and make all kinds of calculations. It's going to come to nothing. And until our last days, till a person is, the Jews are old, Hashem is there by our side taking care of us. And Mordechai took it as a great sign. This means that whatever Haman is cooking up against the Jews, or whatever he's plotting against the Jews, is not going to come to fruition, is not going to harm the Jews. And Mordechai is happy. And when Haman asks these 3 boys what they learned, he gets so dejected, but he doesn't care. He still storms off to the palace to convince King Achashverosh that he should let him do the decree against the Jews. We're going to stop there.
Did he take